Hi, hello. Welcome to the episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is February the 8th, 2026. Hopefully this episode finds you well, in good spirits and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. Hopefully you've had a good Sunday. Hopefully it's been a fun day. As for me, I'm good. I'm solid. I will say I'm pretty tore up, pretty drained, but overall good. Definitely had to get some recovery time in. But yeah, we can just run it down. We can actually start from Saturday night. That's where most of the fun happened. That's for sure. So we get to Northside, already knowing it's going to be a good time. One of the homies from Cleveland had came down to visit. So, I knew that we were coming, I was coming in with the intent to party hardy. So we start off, like we always do with this time. No, we go to Chameleon, and also I gotta say it was interesting because we started from the new house, from the homie's new crib. So that was nice. That was cool. That was different. Already a new start to the adventure for the night, I guess you could say. And we get to Chameleon. And the pizzas look great. So I wind up getting a slice of pepperoni, a slice of cheese, and then the sausage with cloves, pizza that I've kind of been mentioning throughout all of January, because they've kind of been moving that one. It's been, I guess, a hot seller, and I love it. That's been one of my favorite slices that they've made in a very long time, so I'm glad they're kind of just running it out, because it's just nice that they have a sausage pizza on the menu for as long as they are going to have it. I'll take it. Now, normally I would get the veggie, but I will say that I'm not the biggest fan of the ratatouille and green situation. Love the greens, just the ratatouille is kind of, I guess, after you've had it a handful of times, it's kind of boring, I guess. It's not my favorite. So that's why I got the cheese. But got that with some Cajun fries. One of the homies got some garlic knots with the beer cheese. Oh my gosh. So I got to have like a couple of those and trade some fries. That was nice. And I had, I can't remember the name of it, but it was a Rheingeist beer, which is really good. It was really yummy. And, I was kind of craving that IPA, so I hit the spot. So, yeah, that's how we started the night off. Actually, very nice, very easy. We get to Northside Tavern. Some more homies come through, longer hangs. We chilling, we drinking, more or less beers. We're just doing beers for most of the night at this point. And a couple hours go by and we're like, all right, time to go to Junkers, which is where we all like to really turn up at the end of the day, right? And we get to Junkers, and we're starting off with some beers. At some point, I'm like, all right, it's shot time. And we had discussed this thing. I had brought it up because I don't know. It's been a thing that I've wanted to have happen, I guess, for like a year or two. I don't know why. I guess I'm just a sucker for punishment. I don't know. And it's a funny bit, I guess. It's weird. Anyway, so I let the drinks talk, and I was like, you know what? Let's do this, dude. So my friend, we set it up, and we had I had a couple other friends record it, where I took a shot of tequila and then my homie just slapped me. And it's like, well, why would you do that, Isaiah? That's weird. That's awkward as hell. And of course, we had the whole bar watching us do this shit for no reason. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but it would just be funny. And I just and I wanted to see what it would like, how I feel if I did it. I don't know. So it was a fun little experiment, and took one for the team. And overall, it was fine. We got some criticisms. It wasn't the best slap. You didn't do this right, didn't do X right. But like for both of us, it's not like this was a professional slapper, which maybe thank God for that. And it's not like I'm getting slapped in the face every day. I'm not a Days of Our Lives character. I'm not a soap opera actor. So, I think we did pretty well, and it was funny. And so hell yeah for the bit. Then I proceeded to drink more beers and drink more to, tequila. I don't know what got into me at that point of the night. I was just like, yeah, it's party time. It's party time. The gang's all here. Dudes rock. Like, I don't know. It was a nice Dudes Rock Summit moment for quarter one of the year. So that's been good. Also, I didn't add this earlier in the week, but I was kind of like mentioning it throughout the night that I was really happy about. The homies that, I normally go out with, the squad, you could say, which we call ourselves the Dudes Rock Council, DRC. No, we finally decided, hey, like the core group of us were like, let's make a group chat and talk some shit. Like, let's just be homies and send memes and do all that shit. And I love it. It is very nice. It is really good and fulfilling to get a group chat that you can just send funny things to, be unhinged, and just have dumb conversations with. Like, it's cool. It's fun. It's very wholesome for me. So maybe that was part of the wave that just had me on one. I don't know. But yeah, overall, that was a really good time. Post that, we go ahead and get on home and hang out. We have some more house beers now because we got some to-goes and we having them at the house. At some point, the 10 fish and crackers gets busted out. We're eating some dry roasted nuts. I mean, we're just kind of on our forward shit. We're just eating. Also, I got to rewind the night back actually to the top of the night. Because a little bit more bonus food corner. My homie, because they had been on a bender. This was their second night. And I don't know, maybe even some of them might have done a third day. I don't know, that'd be crazy. But they had already did Friday night. They went hard in the paint. Rallied again, went hard, the second night that I showed. So that was crazy. But they had went to a deli. Probably more so in Nosh, if I'm not mistaken, most likely. Might be wrong there. Might have to correct that later. But homie got this amazing Reuben, this pastrami Reuben, and like the bread was salted. Oh my god, dude, it was so good. It was so yummy. So he had ate half, couldn't finish it. Didn't agree with him in his element, in his state, and I had the other half, and it was amazing. So yeah, I had to mention that sandwich. But yeah, back to the closing night, closing end of the night. We're just eating 10 fish. We're laughing, we're crying, we're going through everything. We're just having a drunken, messy time. It was good. It was a blast. Chill out there for a bit. I get up around the time with the sun, and I am on my way home. And I, for some reason, despite eating as messy as I did, just feel like, why do I have any urges to eat anymore? I don't know. I just was still hungry, I guess. So I wind up moseying over to McDonald's in the morning, like, I don't know, 6:30 or something. And I ordered an order of hotcakes, an order of a sausage McMuffin, and a bacon and cheese biscuit with a hash brown and a sweet tea. Now, as I'm pulling up, I see that they now have a thing where you can add hot honey to a sandwich. And boy, howdy, I put that on the bacon and cheese biscuit to experiment and see if I like that. Oh, buddy. Now, I got to put an asterisk on this because the last time I had a spicy sauce from McDonald's, I loved it the first time. I was like, oh, it's so yummy. It's so great. I put it on the sausage McMuffin. And it was really good, but the second time was not good. So maybe I gotta try this again and see if I still like it. But it was fire. It was so good. I wish they had it as a dippable sauce that you could like just dip it in everything, because that shit would go. So yeah, yummy little breakfast that I probably didn't need. But to definitely kind of quiet the early signs of the hangover I was definitely feeling. Then come back home. Back to sleep. I go boom, down. Wake up and I feel somehow worse. I'm in that state where, I need to like throw up, or I need to process this on the back end, and my body's kind of like 50-50 on what we want to do here. And I get up, and the room is like way too hot, and I'm nauseous. So I get up. And I go to the bathroom, you gotta handle some shit. Nature's calling, crazy time. And I notice that I'm like, am I getting dripped on? Like I'm sitting I'm sitting and I'm just like, wait, what's happening here? And then I realized, like, yes, Isaiah, you are being dripped on from the ceiling. I couldn't exactly figure out where at first, but then I realized from the fan in the bathroom, it's just there's water coming out, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, in this state right now, this is what's happening to me, and I'm kind of like having a bit of a freak out. Like, what do I do? What should I do? It's Sunday. I know the landlord, or the landlord agency, whatever the fuck, the group, they aren't gonna be able to help me, right? But there is like an emergency line that you can call, but they're very adamant about it. They're like, don't call unless it's an emergency. Da 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 da. I mean, of course, whatever, fine. I'm thinking to myself, hey, we have a steady leak and it's leaking on my head. Like, at this point, I had to like put a towel over me because I don't know what this water is. Like, it's just coming from the ceiling. It's mystery water. So, I put a towel over my head. I'm trying to do my business to the best of my ability and just move, figure things out, right? So I wound up just saying, okay, I got to make a call. I'm going to call the emergency line. It's my first time doing it. And I call, and then I go to take out some trash because I'm just like, I need to take out some trash. In the process of doing that, I get spam called by, I guess, the maintenance person. And, because I had left a page, and I was like, okay, I guess they'll get back to me. And he's leaving like the rudest fucking messages, like, hey, I guess this isn't an emergency since you're not picking up your phone, da 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 da, like just leaving the same message like that, like multiple times. I finally answer his phone call, and, he proceeds to reiterate the same thing. And I'm like, hey, man, sorry, I was taking out some trash. I didn't see this phone call. And he then proceeds to like say, hey, you need to go upstairs and knock on your neighbor's door and see if there's some kind of overfill, whatever. And I'm like, okay, man, because at this point, I'm not trying to make waves here. I'm just trying to get my shit fixed if that's possible. Obviously, it's not going to happen today. It's definitely how this guy's acting and moving. Probably not. It's fucking Super Bowl Sunday, whatever. But like, at least I can get a handle on what's going on, let them know, whatever. So I'm knocking repeatedly. Dude's telling me just to keep knocking until they fucking show up. I'm like, dude, I'm not doing that. Like, whatever. And eventually we settle for, okay, just keep me posted. Like the maintenance guy's like, keep me posted. If there's anything, just leave a bucket under it. And I'm like, okay, that was essentially what I was going to do anyway. But at the same time, I'm like, all right, I'm at least glad that I let him know. Like, so maybe an hour or so after that, I noticed that the leaking stops. So in a way, I'm kind of happy because maybe the maintenance guy was right, and that's what happened. That was the issue. It was just some overflow, and once they fix the issue, then we're all good. But the thing is, I'm not gonna know. I also know that the landlords, the motherfuckers who handle this shit, they're lazy bastards. They don't fucking care. They don't give a fucking shit. They just wanted to yell at me for calling them and inconveniencing them in that way. Let alone I was the one who's getting drip dropped on. But whatever. It just is what it is. I'm knocking on wood. I'm hoping that the situation's resolved and they're not going to give me any shit for making a call. That's all I can ask for on that shit. But anyway, needless to say, the whole thing kind of left me a bit rattled. I wasn't feeling great to begin with, so now I'm like stressed out about that. And I'm like, I got to go to the grocery store. And of course, as I'm going to the grocery store, it dawns on me. I'm like, it's Super Bowl Sunday, dude. This is always a terrible idea. You always hate this. Like, you never make the heads up play of like doing your groceries like a day before or anything like that. So here I am at like 1:00 going to the grocery store, my local Kroger. Not to mention the parking lot is still snowed over. So, maybe about a quarter of it is just not I cannot say the word accessible as it usually would be. And, so that's an added issue. Plus there's like barely any carts filled with people. No fun. Of course you have in this kind of situation, any like the snack aisle and stuff like that's going to be decimated. I was lucky that I was able to get my tortilla chips and my snack chips that I needed for the week. So that was good. I overall do get all my groceries. I will say I spent way too much on chicken. I don't know why the price went up again, but hey, so it goes. And definitely this was a bigger grocery bill. I had to like get a lot more stuff, like seasonings and sauces and, just stuff like that. So one of the bigger grocery runs, unfortunately. But we got it all done. So that was good. That was solid. Post the groceries, I come home, kind of reconstitute myself again to go to the gym. But I know in my head and my heart, this is not going to be the gym session that I want. It's just not. I know it's not. I would have loved to have a heavy lift session, really get my fucking lick back, really hit it. But my body was too mushy. I just didn't have it in me. But I was like, no, we're going to show up for sure. So we get in there and I just more or less do a very light session. I was able to get on the Smith machine. I was able to get on free weights, just moved a lot less volume, wasn't pushing as much weight. That's for sure. We then do some core work. I get in some filler work, all solid, all good, just lighter, just not the heavy, sweaty stuff that I really like to do. And then close out with some cardio, which was not intense. A lot of walking. And I say I close out on the cardio. I did half of the cardio. I think I only did 30 minutes. I did Stairmaster and I did treadmill. Because I was just telling myself every reason, like, to just stop. Like, I was like, okay, I'm tired. I don't feel well. Oh, your ankle hurts, da-da-da-da. Like, we have stuff that I need to do after. Like, I was like, you should probably nap. Like, I was just coming up with so many reasons to not. And I finally just said, you know what? Yeah, I'm not in the right state for this, so we're going to cut it halfway. I come home, I have a snack, I stretch, not in that order, stretch, then snack. And then I did a little bit of research, like set up a few stories that we're going to go over. And I was like, all right, cool, bet, but I'm going to take a nap. Like, we just need to take a nap. I don't feel great still. I'm okay, but I know I'm tired. So let's just take a nap, see what happens. So I think I slept for maybe about an hour and a half. Maybe, I don't know, you can round that up, say 2. I don't know. But I'm definitely feeling better now. Maybe not 100% per se, but much better than at the top of the day. I don't know. Maybe the moral of the story is just not so much liquor, maybe just tone down on the liquor. But I will say it was nice to really go out and really just, party down. I do that, damn near every week. And maybe it was a bit of like, oh, I felt like, I missed out last week not being in Northside, plus the bonus of the homie coming through. We had the full Dudes Rock Council, in effect. So yeah, it was a vibe, man. It's hard to say no to the vibes, So I don't know. Maybe truly there's no regrets here. Maybe there's nothing to learn. Maybe I'll do it again. But it was a damn good time, that's for sure. So yeah, let's go ahead and do our startup and let's get into some news. Yeah, I definitely will say that the hangover was worse than the slap. That's for sure. So the slap wasn't that bad. I'm glad I didn't take any damage. Didn't lose a tooth or nothing. All right. Our first story comes from Reuters. UK PM, excuse me, UK PM Starmer's top aide McSweeney quits over Mandelson-Epstein scandal. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer's chief of staff, Morgan McSweeney, quit on Sunday, saying he took responsibility for advising Starmer to name Peter Mandelson as ambassador to the U.S. despite his known links to Jeffrey Epstein. After the new files revealed the depth of the Labour veteran's relationship with the late sex offender, Starmer is facing what is widely seen as his gravest crisis of his 18 months in power over his decision to send Mandelson to Washington in 2024. The loss of McSweeney 48, a strategist who was instrumental in Starmer's rise to power, is the latest in a series of setbacks less than 2 years after the Labour Party won one of the largest parliamentary majorities in modern British history. So yeah, this seems like they were really facing the pressure from other MPs, the public, to like roll somebody. Someone's got to get fired. Someone's got to get axed for this. Everyone was essentially saying, oh, it's got to be Starmer. But also I felt like there was no real push that it was going to be Starmer. So I guess the concession that was made was, well, we'll take an aide. We'll take an aide that people knew and, has a really like high profile or whatever. And I did a quick read on this guy. Apparently he was definitely about the rise of the Labour Party. Like he really dug in and was like, hey, we're going to get it out the mud. Eventually it is going to be our time and I want us to be ready for that time. And, it all kind of came to fruition. When the Labour Party finally won, about 2 years ago. But really, they haven't been doing much. I mean, that's neither here nor there. But I guess it all kind of comes to a head now, and it's like, yeah, well, we got to pick you, buddy. You gotta go. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is actually going to solve anything, change anything. I don't know if this is really going to abate the people in terms of saying, hey, like, okay, we're okay with the Labour Party now, because they had a lot more problems outside of this Mandelson thing. I think this was just the thing that tipped the kettle, so to speak. So I mean, we will see. We will see the fate of the Labour Party. We'll see the fate of Keir Starmer, because it does seem like now we're almost in the state of like, well, we're really kind of waiting for maybe the next fuck up or some kind of pressure to kind of hit, and then we'll go, okay, well, we need to get rid of Starmer and replace him with someone else. Another thing I learned from reading this article is that in polling, the Reform UK Party, the Populist Party, led by Nigel Farage, who's a fucking piece of shit, is leading in the polls. So, I mean, that's just weird. I feel like it's weird just because, the Tories, the Conservatives are still down. They're not up, but... And which makes sense because overall I feel like Trumpism is kind of like icky right now to a lot of people. But that being said, Nigel Farage is more that anyway. He's just a populist, but him just kind of tweaking the narrative over the past, year or so, especially since, Trump got elected and everything, he's kind of, I guess, hitting the right notes and people are kind of responding to that. But I mean, it's still the same kind of like conservative-esque garbage, that I fucking hate and I only have tomatoes for. But, it just is what it is. I guess the beat does go on. And in some ways, I am happy to see, I don't want to say justice, but like, hey, this is something. Like, someone's paying for this. But the most fucked up thing about it is it's like they're investigating Mandelson, right? He's lost some titles. Like, he's out of the House of Lords or whatever the fuck. And he's obviously not ambassador. He's lost that job. But, like, is there going to be any criminal fucking wrongdoing? Like, literally, he took money, or at least his husband took money from Epstein. Like, they actually have direct, knowledge of this. And it's like, yeah, well, that was a gift, though. It's like, it was a gift, but you had at the time political influence and power. Like, what are you talking about? It was a gift. Like, it didn't affect you in any kind of way. It didn't affect your decisions in any kind of... No, of course not. Like, what the fuck? Get the fuck out of here, man. That's why it's like at the end of the day, I boo this whole fucking party, bro. Like, it's crazy you guys have been chasing your tail and to the chagrin of everyone. And then now this pops up and you're like, of course, we can't even fucking carry this. Our actual scandal. We're so fucked. So this is in no way, big sidewinding news, but it's definitely, once again, it's fallout from the Epstein shit. So, hey, we're definitely going to be here to cover that. But yeah, let's move on. We've got to go to Japan. I don't know why I said it that way. But anyway, from NBC News. Japan Shinei Takaichi wins a supermajority after gambling on a snap election. Japan's conservative Prime Minister Shinei Takaichi has won a landslide victory after she gambled on a high-stakes snap election. Takaichi, who took office in October after being elected leader of the governing Liberal Democratic Party, or LDP, surpassed the 310 seats needed for a supermajority in the 465-seat lower house. Japanese public broadcaster NHK reported from the official election count Sunday evening. The supermajority allows her ruling coalition to override the upper house, where it lacks a majority. An NHK exit poll, as voting ended earlier Sunday, projected the LDP would win 274 to 326 seats. The party and its coalition partner Ishin was projected to win a combined 302 to 366 seats as voters turned out amid freezing temperatures in a rare winter election. The far-right Sanzito Party, which promises to put Japanese first, was projected to take up 14 seats, according to the exit poll, which would quadruple its numbers, but fall short of the 30 it had targeted. So yeah, I mean, this was a bit of a gambit, and it worked out in Takaichi's favor. I would say, actually, I was surprised about it. I think I'm always surprised. Maybe this is just my American weeaboo brain. I just maybe want to think that there's just more liberalism, less conservatism in Japan. It's just not that way, though, especially right now. And also, I think I underestimated I maybe you should say savvy, but I think it's important to really, it's charisma. Like, she has charisma, and I think it's always weird to see someone in these kind of positions as a conservative-ass figure, and it's like, there's just no way this Margaret Thatcher-ass motherfucker is gonna actually like be liked, but she is. Like, it's one of those things where people really do like that she is into heavy metal and she's drumming and she's doing drums with like the South Korean, president or whatever the fuck. Like, I don't know. Like, it has an effect on people when they see stuff like that. And then also the fact that you can have this charisma and then you're using it in a way where it's like, hey, yeah, Donald Trump even comes over here and he likes me. He fucks with me. She was with Georgia Maloney, having a good time talking. Like, she has these moments of being soft, sweet, and that's really appealing to people. And then also being hard, firm, with China and really taking these like hawkish positions and not backing down, even when things are like having a negative effect on Japan from China's side of it. They're kind of squeezing, doing some pressure play because it's like, hey, you're talking that shit for what reason? But I mean, once again, you're mirroring an allied position from, what is it, the U.S., so that works out in your favor. Everyone's kind of liking your flow. Everyone's kind of liking your vibe, and which we've talked about before. From a bird's eye, things are much more conservative than I'd like to see, and that just kind of works, though, in your favor when you're someone like Sanae Takaichi, I think. But once again, at home, it's just interesting to see that it does work. Like, people want to be like her. Like, it's weird. Like, they're buying pins that she uses. They're buying briefcases that she's rocking. Like, they fuck with her work energy. And once again, maybe that's just something that I'm like, oh, why would you want someone who's like pushing you to work till you're like fucking dead and dusted? Like, why is that something that you like? Well, it's like, yeah, this appeals to us. This is just how we are. I don't know. And she's tapped in maybe better than I could have thought. So I don't know. I guess I kind of missed the vibe on this because she's winning big. Like, this is definitely a big win for her. I feel like usually when these snap elections get thrown, at least when since I've been covering them, they don't usually go well. It's usually like, oh, maybe by the skin of our teeth, we got what we wanted. We got what we needed. So we'll be able to govern, keep doing what we want to do. Or they lose, you know what I mean? And it completely backfires and it's like, this is embarrassing. Why did you throw this? But you look at a situation and in these moments, you go, okay, if I throw the election now, if I shoot for the election now, I actually have the political power, the political will to make it happen so that we can get more power or actually stay in power or whatever. And that's what Takaichi did here, and the move worked. You could say the Queen's Gambit, if you will. Sorry, I don't know, whatever. That's it, though. At least on that, we have one more thing that I wanted to cover, and we're going local here. All right, we're hitting the greater Cincinnati area. All right. And not just for nothing, it's for a fucking heist, okay? All right. So yeah, let's go ahead and take our last break and we'll close it out. Oh, can I talk about a food corner snack? I don't want to say abomination. That's a bit dramatic, but I definitely didn't like it. Hold on, let me do this last break here. It was called Bobo's. It's a Bobo's oatmeal bar. And I guess they have different types, flavors. But I got a chocolate chip oatmeal bar. And I'm thinking this should be one of the greatest things that I could eat because I love oatmeal cookies. I love an oatmeal raisin cookie. So I'm thinking if it's anything like that, just with chocolate chips, this is going to go berserk in my mouth. And no, it didn't. It really felt bleh, like it just was like it's like a thick, like square type bar, very like not stodgy, but just like it's not big. The words I want to use are not appropriate, but I'm gonna use them anyway. It's like almost like a chode. Like it's just not. It's like thick and small. It's not great, but anyway, kind of wide. No, so I have a couple bites of it with my snack, and I'm just like, no, this isn't good. This is very boring. It's very mealy. It's very nothing in my mouth. Don't love it. Will I finish it? Maybe. I don't know, but definitely a thumbs down. Do not get the Bobo bar. So there you go. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get into this last story though. Where's this from? Why is it not? Oh, excuse me. Oh, that was a really nasty burp. WKRC Local 12. Police search for suspect after Greater Cincinnati bank robbery. Police are searching for a suspect after a bank robbery Friday afternoon in Springdale. Springdale police said officers responded about 4:58 p.m. to Key Bank at 355 Princeton Pike. Investigators said a man robbed the bank and fled in an unknown direction. The suspect is described as a black male, about 50 years old, and approximately 6 feet tall. Police said he was wearing a light brown or tan puffer-style jacket over a black hoodie, a tan beanie, sunglasses, and teal-colored winter gloves. Police released a photo of the suspect and asked anyone with information about the robbery to contact the Springdale Police Department, and they leave a number in the article. You can look up if you want. But yeah, not too many details as this is like a local article and this is like a very new story, fresh story. But if I hear anything on the airways, I see anything on the news feed, I will for sure come back with an update because I love a good heist, a bank robbery, whatever. Whether we're talking big money, small money, whatever, I want to talk about it. I'm carrying on the heist legacy. I don't know. But yeah, also can we talk? I want to talk fashion real quick before I close it out. I know at one point we were talking about the quarter zips, right? We've talked about the Nike Tech. Definitely some cool, solid, fall, winter fucking moves for sure. But definitely for the winter, what I think I missed on and maybe what I need to invest in, because I've noticed a lot of people rocking them, the puffer. I need a good puffer, dog. Let me get that puff. Pass it over to me, okay? I don't know. I do want a puffer jacket, though. A nice black puffer, that would be sick. I would not rob any banks in it. I promise. Scout's honor. But no, that's it. That's all I have for today. It is Sunday, so I do not feel like shilling. That is not the way. So yeah, hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye-bye. Mwah.